Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Sunday, May 2nd, 2021, and this is, of course, my newest segment of Markets to Look Ahead, and it's going to be lovely. But what I like to do with these things before we look forward or look ahead is look backward, just a little bit. I want to go back to Friday. Okay, on Friday, this market fell under some pressure and the dollar had a strong bounce higher after the creature, Fed, it's a creature, I'm not kidding you. Fed President Kaplan came out talking about imbalances or distortions in the markets, and the market didn't like it. He also explained how the Federal Reserve needs to start tapering. Let me explain this to you in case you don't know already. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen for years. No taper. The Fed's going to continue to buy, and buy some more. How do we know that? Just right off the bat. Well, debts and deficits, which we found out Friday also, are continuing to hyper balloon. The market right now, 100% dependent on the Federal Reserve buying it all. And the Fed is not done fulfilling their end game. They're not done. They're going to continue to inflate on an epic scale. Epic. In fact, in my opinion, it's going to get worse. We know for a fact, because Yellowstone says it all the time, at least 120 billion, that's a floor, per month of asset purchases. There's no cap. So it's not going to happen. But again, when the Fed creature comes out and says something like there are imbalances in the market, distortions in the market, duh. We all know that. But these, what do they just miraculously pop up? Oh, it hasn't been like this for I don't know, an entire decade now? Yeah, and they're only going to get worse. So the market, in my opinion, is going to digest that and just laugh it off. Because again, it's a joke for anyone to believe that the Fed is done. All of a sudden, it's just going to disappear miraculously. Let's talk about that too. What else did we hear last week from the thing? It's a freaking thing. Okay, I'm referring to Federal Reserve Chairman Powell, Yellowstone. This is a thing. Inflation, he's admitting now that we have it. Okay, remember, we had none before. Now we have it, but it's transitory. It's just temporary now. Over the weekend, this is what drives me nuts. I'm not kidding. I'm getting chills throughout my body right now. Over the weekend, we heard from former Fed Chair Janet Yellen. Now, Janet Yellen is now completely synced with the current Fed Chair. She said, these inflationary pressures, they're transitory. People, look, I don't know another way to put it, but it's pure and absolute dog shit, okay? It's not transitory, and it's going to get much worse. How could it not? Let's talk about that. We have an economy in free fall. I don't care what they're trying to fist feed you dry rectally, okay? That's what they're trying to do. I don't think people are buying it. I really don't, but that's what they're attempting to do. We're in an economic recovery. It's a boom. It's fantastic. It's tremendous. Meanwhile, again, people, all you gotta do is look at one thing. One! And I urge you to look at it right freaking now. Open up another window in whatever search engine you want to use and look up money velocity, the rate at which cash is moving through our economy. It is at historic lows. Does it make sense to you? It should make sense to you that in order for us to be in a recovery or a boom, the rate at which cash is moving through the economy should be going up markedly higher. Well, guess what? It's not happening. So right there, let me explain this to you as well. The silence here is deafening. Well, have you heard a single one mainstream financial channel, outlet, whatever, explain to you anything about the money velocity? No, because you're not supposed to know about it. Okay? Look over here. Don't look over here. These companies right now, these corporations, earnings have been coming in and they've been doing pretty damn well. Well, what else would you expect in this new America where they've killed small businesses to empower the corporate agenda, the new world order? That's what this is. It's an amazing scheme, the things that they have pulled off here, right under people's noses, up people's noses, as they're shoving those things in people's noses trying to say, do you have the virus? Imagine a virus so bad, you have to be tested to find out if you even have it. You can't make that up either, but that's the environment we're in. It's so twisted, but it all plays in together. Anyway, what do we have to watch out for this week? I'm going to tell you because it's glaring in my freaking face. What am I talking about? Okay, so Friday we heard from, the creature, Fed President Kaplan, and, warning the market about imbalances and excesses. Okay, basically saying there are distortions. I mean, I just want to say, duh, one more time. I can't stand it. Okay, you know that. It just really freaks me out. Okay, all right. So we have these things and we know that they're there. He raised the specter of the Fed tapering and the dollar just took off. I mean, what a jump. Almost 0.75%. That's massive. So with that said, the dollar is what we're going to need to watch this week. The dollar, it's a dying asset. We all know that. But the dollar just got a kick, a real kick in the rear from the Federal Reserve Kaplan over there. If the dollar gains strength this week, that's obviously negative for the market. It's negative for gold. It's negative for silver. And it's somewhat negative for cryptocurrencies as well. So keep your eye on that dollar index or the Dixie. And you can watch this right on my website, top of the second page. Lovely. What else do we have to watch here? Crude oil. Crude oil took a hit the other day on Friday after all the nonsense here from Kaplan. It's not going to last. It's not going to last, but if the crude oil continues to fall under pressure, that's going to hit the energy sector and that's going to hit the financial sector. It'll hit the market. The 10-year yield, I expect, and we'll see if I'm correct here, the 10-year yield to remain stable. It has been stable for quite a while now. All right. I think it's going to stay stable, but in order for the market to move higher, which I believe it's going to in aggregate. You remember at the beginning of last month, I told you the month, I said I'd be willing to bet. No, actually I said I promised you that the market would end the month higher. It did. It did. I think we're going to see the same thing here, honestly. I think we're going to get, this month is going to be another one. It's not going to be sell in May and go away. People love to use that thing. I don't think that's happening right now. I really don't. I don't see it with all this easy money pouring into the market. Like we cannot possibly believe, and it's only going to get worse from here. Okay, so understanding the unholy trinity, okay, the dollar or the Dixie, the dollar index, crude oil, and the 10-year yield. We need all three of these things to be working in concert to move the market higher. It's the keys. It's the three keys to this market. Okay. Now, so if we have a 10-year yield which remains stable, and I believe it will, okay, there's one key. The dollar, we need to watch it like I just said. Let's see what the dollar does. Is the dollar going to give back that big gain that it put on Friday? If it did, that's bullish for the stock market, okay? The market wants the dollar weaker. It's not good for consumers because it kills their purchasing power, but that's what the market wants to see. It doesn't care. Keep your eye on that. And crude oil did fall substantially. Will it rebound? I don't know. Let's see tomorrow. If we get a stable 10-year yield tomorrow, if we get a dollar that drops after that jump on Friday, if that, weakens, and if we get crude oil that recovers a little bit, that's bullish. The market will go higher tomorrow. But again, we need to put all of this together, all right, and understand the mechanism behind it, and you know what it is. We have a runaway central bank determined to buy it all. Literally buy it all. We have an administration here that keeps calling for trillions of dollars in more spending. Where does that cash come from? The Federal Reserve. We don't have it. Okay. That mechanism is going to cause debts and deficits to explode, the Federal Reserve's balance sheet to explode like we've never seen anything like this before. That stock market positive, okay? It's terrible for this new America. This is not the old world America. This is a new system, a whole new paradigm. It's terrible for the American people that are carrying their biggest debt loads ever in history. People, and 34, or was it 37? It's an astonishing number. Nearly 40% of American households are receiving some kind of assistance from the government. Again, this is part of the plan here to create a slave society dependent on the government. I've been warning about this for the longest time, and here it is, people. It's in our face. It's right freaking here. It's a freak show, and you know it is. Anyway, lots of important stuff in this video. You know exactly what you should be looking at. And the best part of it is you know what you should be doing about it. Again, I'm not just sitting here spewing this stuff out of my mouth for no reason, okay? I'm sitting here because I am trying my hardest to get you on the right side of this equation. And across the spectrum of asset classes. Again, with regard to this market, it's the gift that keeps on giving. If you're a trader and you've been taking advantage of my stock picks and the way I've been telling you the market's going to go, well, you've been doing really, really well. If you're a stacker of precious metals, you're sitting pretty here. Okay, let JP Morgan play their games. We're going to play our games because, again, debts and deficits are exploding. Central banks are inflating, and it's not going to stop. You need to be on the opposite side of that trade. Hold physical gold. More importantly, physical silver. I still believe, and I will never change. I won't never change. Physical silver, the most undervalued asset in the history of the planet Earth, okay? And then also cryptocurrencies. And I don't care that Bitcoin is 56,000, whatever it might be, it's going higher. Cryptos in aggregate, the big ones are going higher here. Look, I've been correct on this for a very, very long time. And if you just understand the dynamics here, you understand the mechanisms here, and the distractions and the propaganda, then it just makes your life easy. My job is to cut through all the bullshit, the dog shit, to allow you to make rational decisions. You understand? People, okay, so what is today? It's the beginning of the month. At the beginning of every month, I humbly ask for your support. If you think Greg is doing a good job, I'm doing a nice job out here, I'm actually making your life easier, I hope you will choose to support my work. I ask you, humbly, yet again, $5. That's all I ask for. In the description of this video is a link to my PayPal. Please consider supporting my work. Like I said, just $5. And I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. This guy here loves all of you. I will see all of you tomorrow morning for my markets a look ahead, and it's going to be, well, probably a freak show. I'll see you then.